Does peer pressure affect more guys or girls? Mr. Hamza, what do you think?
It affects...
Which one has a longer lasting damage?
The longer lasting damage is the girls. Why? I don't say this because
you have something against girls.
Yeah. I mean, in this day and age, but wallahi, I have sisters, I have cousins. I respect the women. Wallahi, because they gave birth to half of the world, and they are half of the world.
إسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله مصليا على محمد وآله ومن تلا. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we have special guests in the house. On my right hand, as we always start with the right side, we have Ustad Muhammad Jama', Ustad Ahmed Idris, special guest today right here in the studio. And inshallah ta'ala, we have an amazing topic. And our topic for this episode on the Brothers Club is high school. This week, high school and a lot of the schools are finishing up. And we try to stay relevant. And a lot of things have been happening around the state, around the country in regards to high school. And so we all agree that high school is a good stepping stone in life. And it builds some core values and foundations in life. It can be good or it can be bad. But we all know there are major stereotypes in high school that we need to shed some light on. And the Muslim has to always be strong in every single stage in life. So tonight, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to have a discussion on how the Muslim, the young Muslim, can stay strong, keep his deen, keep her deen at a strong level, and keep the momentum going in order to have a successful life. And that's the idea. So today, inshallah, we're going to tackle some core issues and core stereotypes about high school and struggles that people go through in high school. And hopefully, inshallah, by the end of the episode, we can give out some advice and we can have it be a beneficial talk, inshallah ta'ala. And that's the idea. So stay tuned on the channel, The Brothers Club. We'll try to bring you guys episodes on every single week with beautiful guests, as you can see, inshallah ta'ala. So let's get into today's episode. So we're going to cover 6 main core values in high school. Number 1 is peer pressure. That can be good or bad. So we'll talk about the dynamics of that. Number 2, we'll talk about education. 3, dating. 4, relationship building. 5, life plans. 6, parents. 7, drugs. Drugs. And so inshallah, we'll get going with the first one, which is there is a great amount of level of peer pressure in high school. Ustad Muhammad Jama, I'll start with you since you're on my right side today. What does that mean? And is peer pressure in high school, do you see it as more good or more bad? What are your thoughts on that?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan, brother Najib, for inviting us here. Peer pressure is in all aspects of our lives, and it is at the height level in high school. When you are a baby, the only person or a child, the only person you look up to is your parents, and you try to please them. Once you move into your teenage years and your high school years, you start moving away from your parents and going towards pleasing your friends, being part of the group. Alhamdulillah, me and Idris had our share of high school experiences, but peer pressure is very toxic. It's a very toxic tool that can be used in bad, that can also be a very effective tool in good. One story that I experienced, I left Al-Amal school, 9th grade year, alhamdulillah, and I went to South. At that time,
South High School in Minneapolis.
The notorious South High School. The South High School, we had the brawl 3 weeks before I came. So it was a very, very tough situation when I came there. And subhanAllah, the first day I came to South, I was approached by a Somali kid. And he was older than me. And so he talked to me and he said, "Come here, man, you have a lighter." And he had like a blunt in his hand, marijuana. And in my life, I've never seen drugs. Never had anybody ask me for a lighter. None of that. And I was like, "I don't have a lighter." And he was like, "You don't smoke?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't smoke." And he was like, "Keep it that way." So I was shocked. I was like, he had drugs. This is what's going on. And the second day, all I see is during lunchtime, girls and boys like just literally hugging and pushing each other and fighting and throwing stuff at each other. I'm shocked. I've never seen this before. But you know,
Because you came from a nice private Islamic
Islamic
school, right?
Alhamdulillah, yeah, private Islamic school. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala تحسبوا شرا لكم بل هو خير لكم. Yeah, and don't think about things as bad for you. Alhamdulillah, I became who I am now because of that experience. I've seen a lot of things. I was exposed to a lot of things. And at that moment, I started asking around and questioning those older than me. Like, how did you start drugs? How did you start dating? What's going on? I started interviewing people on the low. I started asking the guy who gave me offered me the drug. I said, brother, his name was Muhammad. May Allah preserve him and protect him. I said, brother Muhammad, come here. We're in ceramics class making, pottery, right? And I was like, brother, we need, what's going on? He's like, I started, smoking back in, 6th grade.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, wow. In 6th grade. And he said it started like this. And this is how it went. He was playing basketball. And basketball, after a while, and you play around, you get tired, you get bored. And it's still sun is out. So his friends were like, you know what? Come hit this. He's like, what is that? He's like, just do it. Peer pressure. It happened. So at that moment, he got hooked on the drug. And I talked to, subhanAllah, over maybe 50 people at South, just interviewing them, giving the life story. And I became, alhamdulillah, sort of an expert at seeing the signs, talking to people out of it, being the person who heals them and brings them to Friday prayer. So that's what I've seen a lot of peer pressure. And yeah, Jazakallah khair.
Ustad Ahmed Idris, what is your experience with peer pressure? Has it been good, or have you seen it being used as a bad thing?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First of all, I want to thank Brother Najib for inviting me. It's an honor. When I think of peer pressure personally, alhamdulillah, Allah has guided me to where I could deflect it away, or I could stay away from peer pressure. But I've seen people melt under peer pressure. I've seen peer pressure change people from literally good people to very, very, I don't want to say bad people, but in bad situations. People, you would never imagine them in this type of atmosphere, in this type of group. That's what peer pressure does to you. First, when I learned about peer pressure, it was around middle school, when the marijuana started to really
went off.
Booming.
And I remember a commercial. Its slogan was, usually when people want you to smoke or want you to do something, they say, "Oh, everybody's doing it." And
propaganda. Everybody's doing it, man.
So the slogan of the commercial was, "If everybody's doing it, you got enough people." So the first time somebody said this to me,
if everybody's doing it, you got enough people.
Subhanallah. You got a jama'ah.
The first time somebody told me to smoke weed or to do, to go to a party, my answer was, and they said everybody's doing it, everybody's going. I said, you have enough people, then you don't need me. Right? So, and alhamdulillah, I had a mother who always told me, every day before I went to school, always gave me advice. So maybe some people are not blessed with mothers like that, but I was, alhamdulillah. Don't do this, do not get into fights, stay away from girls, this and that, So I was always, stay away from drugs especially. That's one of the biggest things I think, even in every Somali mother tells their kids stay away from drugs.
Of course, yeah.
That's the gateway to
universal one.
Yeah, wallahi, stay away from drugs. Peer pressure really kicks off in high school, because now you have the cool guys, the jocks, the athletes, you have different groups, and people want to fit
competing for attention.
Big time.
Everybody's competing for attention.
Yeah.
Okay.
You come down the hallway,
that's the number one thing in high school is attention. You got to be popular, and this is obviously engulfed in the entertainment industry and TV.
Of course.
The jocks are the cool guys. There's nerds. There's the chess club. So, and this is real life. So if you're not an athlete, some people are not athletes. That means you're not gonna be cool, right? And you don't want to be in the chess club because you don't want to be seen as a geek. Right. So there's a group left out for you now. There's a group that's willing to accept you at any time. And that's the people that do drugs, the people that go to parties. Those people are always accepting.
Everybody, welcome.
Open enrollment.
24/7. Every year it was open enrollment.
The bigger the better.
Yeah. Well, so those people are always accepting people. So when these people don't have athletes, and the number one thing is people, they used to be looked down upon by the popular people. When they look down upon people, those people go to the guys that
because of low self-esteem.
Exactly. Because of low self-esteem. The fact that you need acceptance from somebody else. Exactly. So you go to the people that will accept you. So that's the peer pressure is very real, and it's very dangerous, especially for the sisters, because.
Why especially for the sisters?
Because this is society. This is not something new in society. When men do something wrong, it's not.
It's not the same.
It's not the same as when a girl does it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see a sister who comes into high school with a hijab, and wallahi, if you actually think about it, my first years in high school, I used to see sisters wearing the hijab fully covered. And brothers actually used to frown upon girls who did not wear the hijab.
Back in
They
the
used,
day, yeah.
yeah.
They used to frown upon girls.
Yeah,
They used to call it. They used to call them wifey material.
Right. So the ones, and then I seen this change where girls started wearing the khamar,
Okay.
the lesser hijab, and guys didn't say anything. Then the girls wore skirts. Guys didn't say anything. Tight skirts. Guys didn't say anything. Then they went to jeans. Guys didn't. So the more they went on and guys didn't see nothing, they were like, oh, these guys don't even, they don't even care.
They don't even care.
Yeah, they don't. So the girls went from good to worse.
Just to please the guys,
yeah,
and to fit into society.
Yeah, exactly. So now they were like, oh, we don't even need acceptance from these guys. This is how we're gonna be. This is our new. So,
which leads to the next question.
Yeah.
Does peer pressure affect more guys or girls? Mr. Hamza, what do you think?
Well, it affects.
Which one has a longer lasting damage?
The longer lasting damage is the girls. Why? I don't say this because
You have something against girls.
yeah. I mean, in this day and age, but wallahi, I have sisters, I have cousins. I respect the women. Wallahi, because they gave birth to half of the world, and they are half of the world.
I know. Yeah.
So, girls. Okay, if a guy does something wrong today, wallahi, if a guy does the worst thing, what's the worst thing a guy can do? Commit zina, kill somebody. The worst thing a guy can do. At the end of the day, he can change his life like this.
Yeah.
But once a girl reaches to a certain threshold, she either commits zina or she either becomes a drug addict. Her value and her worth is zero in the eyes of those
society.
of society and anybody else. So, girls, they have to understand that. Listen, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala protected you. Your body is zina. Why do you see? Look, back in high school, even your hormones are raging. You see a girl with one day she comes with baggy clothes. Nobody's gonna look at her like, you're gonna be thinking in your head, but you're not gonna see it, right? But when you see a girl with tight sarwal, like the girls, okay, listen, girls nowadays, what became like casual clothing is to go to work with a button-up shirt and leggings. That's casual now. So they go to school, and we're guys, we're homos, we're not married. What do you expect? Wow.
What's going on there?
Let's get it. Okay, you see the girl. So, I mean, I've seen it. Wallahi, I've seen it. I've seen girls who had a very, very hard time to get married. They had an extreme amount of difficulty to get married. Why? Of their life, the past life.
Yeah.
They were
Traces.
They were drug addicts. God, alhamdulillah, they got married. They couldn't have kids because of the drugs. God, alhamdulillah, they got married, but they couldn't find intimacy because their mind is always on attaining the drugs. So I've seen it. And then guys, whether you like it or not, in high school, a girl who shows off and wears tights and is very promiscuous, people might say, oh, for the time being, but nobody. I've seen nobody.
She's not a wife of your
nobody will marry. Nobody.
The question was, which group
is it more
peer pressure?
Which group does it damage more?
Yeah, I would say.
I'm saying girls completely.
I would say the guys because wallahi.
Ooh, okay. Why is that?
I'll give credit to the girls because I've seen a lot of girls, mashallah, a lot of girls in high school. I think I could say 97% of girls in high school, if not 100% of Somali girls especially, graduate from high school. That's for sure.
Okay.
That's number one.
In education-wise, which we'll get to, girls are better. Okay.
Number one, they're better, right? Number two, I've seen more girls in my high school days wear the hijab, some even wear the niqab, than the ones who don't.
Okay.
I've seen ones that are more covered than the ones that are not. I've never heard of a girl in high school that does drugs. So, but in terms of guys, it was 90% majority of guys.
It was no.
Majority of guys were going to parties. Majority of guys were going to clubs. Majority of guys were smoking weed.
Okay.
So when it comes to peer pressure, it hits the guys more, I think, because the girls the girls are smarter in some type of way. They know, oh, I gotta look out for my future. I have to stay focused in school.
Yeah.
And if you can stay focused in school, that means that you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Right.
Your peer pressure is minimal.
Yeah, minimal, because you're doing good in school.
Okay.
The people that fell in school and the ones that were into peer pressure and that did drugs and things like that.
Yeah.
So that's one of the evidences that girls, that they handle peer pressure very well, and they support each other too. The girls, they support each other in good. If she can find 3 good friends, should keep them throughout high school. But a guy will switch up on his friends. Oh, this guy's lame now.
I've seen that. What?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I've seen that.
For me personally,
Yeah.
I think peer pressure, it damages more. It might affect more on the guy's end
Yeah.
in the beginning, but it
It
affects a
damages.
lot more on the girls.
Yeah.
When it comes to damage,
Yeah.
girls get damaged through peer pressure way more often. Because the guy can make a quick comeback. The argument that Ustad Muhammad made is that guys can make quick comeback,
So
but they do it more often.
Yeah.
They get peer pressured more often. But nowadays, I feel like when we were in high school, and now it's a different ball game.
Big.
I feel like now the girls are more
Yeah.
peer pressured than the
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, time is changing. Yeah.
Time's changing. That's from what I've seen. I could be wrong. I haven't
Because
been in high school in a while.
When I was in high school,
Yeah.
which was 4 years ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
really the talk of feminism was not that big.
Yeah.
So girls really did. Now girls are like, oh, I'm the stuff. I'm the stuff. I don't need a man. I don't need this. No, I can't
Somali
tell
got
me
nothing. Somali got nothing.
That's the stage. They'll wake up soon, man. Somebody got that. Nah, just kidding, man. Like, as long as the guy, let's clear that up. I made a statement. As long as the guy is a good Muslim, he's a good fit.
Exactly.
Wallah, it doesn't matter. It's not about Somali, non-Somali.
Right.
That has nothing to do with it. If he's a good Muslim,
In
that's what we look for.
akramakum indallahi
Atqakum. Our next topic, next point is friends. In high school, do you think, Ustad Muhammad Jama, that friends, what are your thoughts on friends in high school? I don't even know how to pose that question.
Wallahi, subhanallah. I think it was 6 years ago. Alhamdulillah, Quran graduation. I attended the first MDA graduation. I graduated there. I gave a talk. But 9. I was So I had to give a talk, and the title was bad friends. So and good friends and bad friends actually. So at the time I didn't experience it. It was before high school. I didn't know. So I'm saying all this hadith, I'm giving all these ayat. Prophet said, "Al-maru ala dini khalili, falyanzur ahadukum man yukhalil." But I know those hadith wa'aqana. I never experienced it. And there's a saying in Arabic, "Laysa al-khabru kal-mu'ayyin." The reality
Yeah.
and the knowledge. So like what you theory is not like reality. What you know, unless you see it, you won't know it.
Yeah.
Wallahi, I have a friend. Ilahi Suhdi. I had a friend. He was older than me by 3 years. Idris knows. May Allah protect him and return him. He came to me. I came to south, and he's the one who brought me in and gave me
A group of friends.
and told me here to go. He looked up and he's my older brother. And every day we would go out after school and go to the Pineda. There's a little taco place we go, and he would tell me, "Bro, don't do drugs. Bro, don't do drugs. Bro, stay with me. Bro, he'll give me advice." The little that I know, my friend had a bad friend. We know his name. He had a bad friend, and that guy he was careless about what happened. He did not care about how his life went. What happened was slow by slow. My friend was going with that guy. Slow by slow, we drifted. Slow by slow, the guy was going out with going off with that guy and going other places. Soon by soon, the guy started doing drugs. And when he was beginning with playing out the guy, he told me, I'm just gonna stay right here. You're gonna do it over there. I do a sign. I'm gonna leave. But little did he know, step by step, it got to the point where the guy who's my friend now, may Allah protect him, is the one who's selling. It's the guy who's giving supplies to the rest of the city, who's losing out the opportunity of all other kids. So bad friends is the number one thing that can ruin you. And I've seen last point, I see good friends. When I came to South, we'll talk about this more. I came to South, there was no South Jum'ah. I came from Alamma school. South Jum'ah was a big thing. We prayed every 5 Salat that we could in the school. And South Jum'ah, we went to go there, we go together, we listen to khutbah, we have a good time, we eat lunch, and we go back to class. I went to South. It's South Jum'ah time. First week. I see everybody sitting down. I'm like, what's going on? There's no Salat. And then I go upstairs, I see a group of 3 people. May Allah protect them, they were praying. I joined them.
This is in high school.
This is high school. A small corner! A small corner! Like the hallway where people are walking past and forth. The bell's ringing. People walking back and forth. They're praying.
MashaAllah.
Me and them, I talked to them. I said, why don't they go? They said, we don't have a person who can give khutbah. I said, I'll give the khutbah. Let's go. Let's go out and bring people in. So peer pressure class, the good talk we did, we bought, it was from 4 people. The jama'ah was 4 people to over 100 people. SubhanAllah. In 4 years. 4 people to 100 people. South Jama'ah. We made it. What was it? Passes. We gave passes, and we made it recognized. Teachers gave the kids opportunity to leave every single Friday.
MashaAllah.
And that's the good thing about good
Good
friends.
team or good friends in high school. You do a lot. So Idris, what are your thoughts on that? Friends in high school.
Wallahi, there's both good friends and bad friends. First of all, I don't think I made a real friend in high school.
Wait, what are you trying to say, man? We were around, man.
My core group, my best friends,
Yeah.
I met them in 3rd grade. In
Oh.
elementary. So these guys I've known for a long time.
So you had it kind of easy,
They're
man.
ride or dies, so to
Yeah,
say.
right. So like Muhammad Jam, I met him in high school. So
Yeah.
as I go on in life,
Yeah.
and I'll say later on in life, oh, this is one of my best friends. Right?
Yeah.
And obviously
Brothers,
I say
yeah.
now one of my brothers.
Yeah.
But in high school, you have 4 years to. You cannot decide who your best friends are in 4 years, right?
You can.
Because wallahi, there's people that I remember. There's a group of guys they used to say, "Oh, we're best friends. This is my brother. This and that." And one time they got in trouble and they ratted each other out. This guy did this, and one brother got the fault for all the others.
Right.
So really, how's he your best friend? Where's your brother?
Yeah.
Where's the brotherhood, right? If you wanna, obviously, and it's cliche. I don't want to sound like a broken record. If you want a good friend, look at his Deen. It's very
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
But you also gotta look at the one who even cares about you in this life.
Yeah.
The one that tells you go to class, don't skip, don't hang out with these people.
Yeah.
You could, besides the Deen, you could tell your good friends in other ways. Yo, get a job. This is not good for you. Don't. So if your friend is not
Looking out for
even
you.
helping you in this world,
Yeah.
that should tell you he's
That's
not a good friend.
huge sign.
That
Yo,
should
يفر المرء من أخيه لما قال we didn't reach there.
reach the Deen part.
We didn't
Exactly. And friends can break you or make you, because you need friends. You need people to talk to. You need people to help you out.
You're a social
So,
person
yeah.
by nature. You're a
Yeah,
social
Exactly.
person.
So if you have bad friends, wallah, is better for you to first encourage them. Yo, let's not do this. If they say no, then you have to cut them off. And there's good people. You have to find
Yeah.
those good people.
Mhm.
You're not gonna tell me in high school there was no good people. There's always good people, but it's up to you if you want to befriend them.
Yeah. So when you mix peer pressure and friends, does that usually lead to more good or more bad? So Idris, what do you think?
I think it leads to good. Peer
Yeah.
pressure in terms of friends, when you're with your friends,
Yeah.
and peer pressure comes,
Yeah.
I think you guys collectively decide, hey, this is wrong.
Okay.
But peer pressure,
What most of the time happens?
most of the time, well, it's very hard to see. But what I'm saying
tough,
is,
yeah.
it's very tough. But peer pressure destroys somebody when they're alone, when they're not with a group.
Okay.
There
Okay.
you go,
Good
there
point.
you go,
Yeah,
there you
Good
go,
point.
So
there
when
you
you're
go.
by yourself, peer pressure will lead you bad.
Okay.
But when you're with friends, it can lead you good. Your friends can say, yo, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're not gonna steal this. We're not gonna go to this place and steal these. We're not gonna
go to a party.
Yeah, we're not gonna go to a
yeah.
party. We're not gonna. So when you're collectively group, you have more ideas. Maybe you guys respect
More
each other.
support, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you're by
You have
yourself,
standards.
yeah, peer pressure literally leads you to bad when you're by yourself.
Then what's a good population size? Should a person have a lot of friends in high school, or should he have a small group?
Wallahi, personally, I had, just like he said, I met everybody in high school and I knew everybody because I was a public figure, alhamdulillah, and we, did da'wah in school. You should have a select group and you should choose it. And you should know that Yawm al-Qiyamah, you'll be resurrected with those who you love.
Of course.
You will be resurrected with those you love. So for example, if you go with the cool group, you'll be resurrected with the cool group. You go with people who repent to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to go to salat and listen to the halaqat and are loving of each other for this dunya
Yeah.
and akhirah,
Yeah.
then you'll be raised with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So
Yeah.
I think it's good.
What are your thoughts on that? Big group, small group.
Here's the thing: it's not wrong to be friends with a lot of people.
Right.
Me personally, if you ask
Because that exposes more harm.
not
When the whole school knows you and you're like
it
need to
depends,
go
though.
guy.
It depends. It depends what
Like
you're
Bobby Jama, I wasn't that popular in high school.
It depends what you're looking for.
It was a good thing and a bad thing.
If you ask my friends, if you ask somebody who's Idris's friends, he'll name 4 people, 4 or 5 people, right?
Wallah.
But if you
Aye.
say is Najib Idris' friend, oh he'll say yeah. Maybe he didn't name you, but he'll say yeah, that's
Yeah.
his friend.
Yeah.
Is this guy's friend? Oh, that's his friend, because they see that we're actually friends. But my core group of people, 4 or 5 guys. But there's more. I have more friends. There's more people.
The city knows you.
I don't want to say that, but I have more friends.
The royal akhi.
The Royal Akhi, add him on Snapchat, Twitter. If you want the weekly reminders, walk out. Well, Allah protect him, preserve him.
None of that. But what I'm saying
we
is-
know people know you. Hey,
I played basketball, so I know a lot of people that play basketball.
Okay, yeah.
But my friends, I have a core group of friends that I always hang out with, that know my mom personally.
If you were to pick one, what would you do?
If
Small group or big group?
Small group, any day.
MashaAllah.
Small group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. I think.
الفرقة الناجية. Small.
الفقيه. Check it out. والله.
Less problems.
For me personally, I think I agree with the core group too. I agree with him because the more people you know, when I was in high school, I realized the more harm that's exposed to you, the more cause you'll get for something. You know what I mean? The more paths Shaitan can get to you. And we know most people in high school, do you guys agree? They're not practicing, the non-Muslims are on one side. The Muslims themselves,
Yeah.
they're not practicing.
Secularism.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
No,
Secularism.
yeah, there's a lot of issues. But we know majority that most of the kids, they're not practicing. Especially in high school, right?
Right.
So when you have all that exposure, it can lead to harm.
Yeah.
Friends and peer pressure. Next topic, dating. Oh, Sa Idris, what are your thoughts on dating in high school?
Well, over the years, obviously, I learned that dating is completely haram. There's no way around it. And alhamdulillah, as you grow older and you practice the deen, you know that there's no such thing as, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about some things. Some things are set in stone, and that's it. And one of those things is dating. Dating is haram. You cannot date. And obviously, Shaitan will tell you, oh, but if your mom knows it's okay, if you things like that. But at the end of the day, dating is haram. And a lot of high schoolers do date again because of we grew up in the age of watching TV. And obviously, our
Disney Channel.
Our favorite Disney
Mrs. McGuire is dating so and so.
Exactly, Cody.
Oh my God.
Rachel, that's a Raven.
I'm so behind. Man, Lizzie McGuire, that's like 8.
You know what amazes me?
That's not 80.
Back in the day, people who, people who grew up in the 90s, they have these shows and you talk about them, you relate. And
over time,
they don't understand what you're watching. Yeah. Right now, I go home, I don't know what these shows are about. What's going on?
So dating it was everywhere. It was in media. It was. And one thing Shaitan is good at is, especially for the people who are ignorant, when people don't know a lot about deen, he makes haram halal.
Of course.
And they're okay with it.
Of course. Right? It's a norm.
Yeah, it's a norm, and they think it's halal because they don't know anything. They don't know about the deen, so they think it's halal. Oh, no sheikh talks about dating, so I'm just gonna say it's halal.
Oh
no sheikh really talks about it. Sheikhs are always talking about prayer. They're always talking about this, so I'm just gonna assume it's halal, right?
Yeah.
Again, the peer pressure. Everybody has a girlfriend. Oh, I'm gonna get one too. Everybody has a boyfriend. I'm gonna get one too. So it has a lot to do with peer pressure. Has a lot to do with, and you're in high school. Your hormones are high. You really wanna. You don't think you can get married because your mom will tell you no. You have to finish college. Things like that.
Is there pressure to date in high school? Stan, what do you think? Is there pressure that if you're not dating the best looking girl or guy in school, you're not looked at as so and so?
Yes, but as time is going, nobody's really caring about dating. It's called a one night thing. Now it's a one day thing, one night thing. It's a fad, like a small thing you do. And there's a story that I was listening to this morning. Back in the day, if you weren't a righteous person, if you weren't like a person who was a virgin, you were looked down upon. If you weren't a virgin, you were like, what are you doing with your life? Right now, if you don't have a girlfriend, or if you're not dating,
you're looked down
upon. And it's, should that change the norms?
Subhanallah.
And, the biggest thing that's happening now that we can talk about is prom. Prom is the hottest
dances. The prom. It's actually happening this month. This circle should have been a month ago. Man.
But guess what? I think, subhanallah, I don't use Twitter a lot as I used to. I have over, subhanallah, 13,000 tweets I've done in my existence. But I haven't tweeted or looked at Twitter for a while, maybe 2 years now. But every time I go in there, periodically, whenever I go in there, I see something. And it amazes me that because if I go there in this small amount of time and I see that, it's there every time.
Yeah.
So one of the things I saw was mothers, subhanallah, mothers.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
May Allah protect them and return them. Mothers took pictures with their daughters and were saying my daughter's getting ready for prom. Girl is half naked.
Oh.
A guy who can't do anything, who can't even clean his own clothes, and then come and take your daughter. And we've seen stories, we've seen what happens. So subhanAllah, look, Shaitan comes close and goes, okay, you're gonna go to a little dance, you're gonna take a little pictures, you're gonna have a little hug. There are stories that people take girls. And if you go through the whole dance and a guy pays a lot of money for your food and a guy pays for your clothing, your car and everything, and you don't go the whole 9 yards,
it's like, come on,
There's a guy who took a girl to prom, he went to the house or to the hotel. He was like, let's finish it up. Let's finish it off. The girl said no. he became confused. He did all these things for her, and then he took her life. So this is a big issue, and with this thing prevailing in our community, there's no people. This is what people don't have any hope for marriage. Don't have any hope for society. The girls that don't know they're the backbone of society. They're the mothers who are producing the next generation of Muslims. People are so occupied about school and what's happening today and fidget spinners and come on.
Subhanallah, bro. The quality of people kind of do you think the quality of people went down, Idris? Like our mentality,
Yeah.
the standard, has it gone down?
Big time.
بإسلامي وإيماني أضاء الكون وزمن بإسلامي